everyone. Welcome to City Talk. I'm Thermise Bevel. Tyler Perry wants to buy a portion of Fort McPherson. The former Army base in South Atlanta sits on 488 acres. Perry plans to purchase over 300 acres, leaving the city of Atlanta with about 125 acres of land and significant green space. Fort Mac's Redevelopment Authority is negotiating with the filmmaker who wants to turn the property into a movie and television studio.
Him buying a portion of Fort McPherson, make it into a movie production studio, can be a lift for the community. It's a win-win for Tyler Perry and most definitely a win-win for the community. Great opportunities for redevelopment.
Fort Mac was impacted by the base realignment and closure process when the Department of Defense closed several military installations throughout the United States. The facility closed in 2011. Measuring quality of life is a complex issue, but council members Felicia Moore and Joyce Shepard say having a clean, safe, and healthy environment is a good place to start. That's why they're working hard to improve the community, and code enforcement is at the top of their lists.
Code enforcement is the #1 issue across the city. We have so many properties that are dilapidated, that need to come down or need to be cleaned and closed, vacant lots that need to be cut, dumping all over the community. Code enforcement is #1.
Councilwoman Moore is very concerned about code and zoning violations. She is backing a code enforcement summit to explain the procedure involved in restoring distressed properties and the importance of community involvement in reporting these issues.
Well, I first started to think of a code enforcement meeting with members of my district, but realizing that this is a citywide issue and I've heard complaints from people citywide, I said, why not do a summit, have all of the people who do code enforcement in the city from the variety of areas other than just housing code, have them all together with citizens from across the city to give us an opportunity to be educated, but as well as share ideas and solutions.
The Code Enforcement Summit is August 16th at 9 a.m. at the Atlanta Civic Center. Questions and concerns about existing code or zoning violations will also be addressed.
The summit is first and foremost education. I think that the citizens need to hear directly from those who enforce the code why it's not working. Why is it taking so long to get this house torn down or to get some compliance? And then understanding that, the second part will be for the residents to give their solutions of what they think that can happen, or to clarify in understanding why things aren't happening. And then the final part of the summit will be a one-on-one. We're asking people to register online and give us the properties you're concerned about. So when they come to the summit, they can meet one-on-one with a code inspector to understand what the status of those properties are.
Improving quality of life is a group effort. All of the council members are working together to get a handle on dilapidated properties.
Right now, if I drive through any parts of my neighborhood, I'm sometimes really depressed over what I see. Code violation, trash, garbage. I walked this morning, I'm a walker, and I walk my neighborhoods. This morning I was walking and I just saw trash. I saw burned out houses. I saw a lot of things that I'm just not happy with.
Councilmember Shepard recently established a code enforcement commission to study residential and commercial blight here in Atlanta. The 21-member panel will also look at best practices in other cities to come up with ways to eradicate code violations.
Looking at best practices across the country, what are other cities doing? I've traveled with it, I've asked questions, I've visited other cities and asked them to show me what they're doing, just to try to understand code enforcement, how they deal with it, and how we as a city can do better.
Since 2011, the Atlanta Police Department's Code Enforcement Division has cleared over 4,500 backlogged cases and demolished 131 abandoned and unsafe structures.
We're progressing, but it's just a vicious cycle. So for instance, we write up code violations every day, so they've cleared up the backlogs. But as we begin to educate our communities about code enforcement, and we actually have the power and the capacity to do what we have to do, it's a recidivism over and over and over again. I really want this coming year and this task force, this commission, and the money we're getting to be a year that we really change what's happening in terms of quality of life, in terms of code enforcement.
The Code Enforcement Commission has 12 months to present its final recommendations. Council members Shepard and Moore were at the state capitol for a press conference about Georgia's scrap tire law. House Bill 226 was introduced by State Representative Randy Nix and grew out of legislation created by Councilmember Shepherd to stop illegal tire dumping. Shepherd and Moore were at the Capitol last year when Governor Nathan Deal signed the bill into law. New regulations require scrap tire dealers to have a green carrier and storage decal. After August 1st, those without a permit will get a ticket. Police Chief George Turner says illegal tire dumping is a misdemeanor that carries a fine up to $1,000 or 6 months in jail. The city wrapped up the first round of public hearings related to the mayor's proposed infrastructure bond. The bond looks to raise $250 million to help fund repairs to city streets, sidewalks, and bridges. Currently, there is a backlog of almost $1 billion in repairs to infrastructure.
This is a great start. Although it won't address all the issues that we have in this city when it comes to infrastructure, it will address some of the issues, and as we continue to look in the future for other bond issuance, it'll take care of other items that we need to take care of.
We want to see when the streets get repaved that they're turned into whole streets, that they're turned into multifunction streets with bike lanes. Protected bike lanes would be great, but at least bike lanes so that people can safely and healthily get around the city.
The city's bond rating was recently upgraded by Standard & Poor's to a AA rating, up from single A. Financial management, abundant cash reserves, and an improved outlook are some of the factors cited for the upgrade. This will help with lower interest rates if the city needs to borrow money in the future. 50 years ago, the Civil Rights Act was signed into law by President Lyndon Johnson. Mayor Reed helped mark the 50th anniversary with a commemoration at the King Center. The day began with a presentation of Johnson's signing of the bill in 1964.
What young people have to do is to understand how difficult it was to get this far and how difficult it was to cause Congress to really finally pass the bill that made the difference. And they must know how it was done.
Civil rights leaders Andrew Young and C.T. Vivian also took the stage to talk about their experiences and how the Civil Rights Act impacted the course of global history. The Mayor's Office of Constituent Services and Councilmember C.T. Martin teamed up with AARP Georgia to talk about our communities. They discussed livable, age-friendly neighborhoods, well-planned communities, and strategies for making Atlanta a more suitable place for everyone.
To have a little socialization and conversation about what's going on with aging in our community. They're talking about code enforcement, they're talking about home repairs, just the quality of life issues that affect their community.
I'm with the Wildwood Lake Homeowners Association, and we're doing some things in our community. So we came here as a group primarily so we could get some information so we could take back to our community.
According to AARP, a well-designed livable community promotes health, sustains economic growth, has safe walkable streets, access to key services, and lots of transportation options.
Tonight we're here to talk to members of this community about what's existing here and also what needs to come here to ensure that individuals can remain in their communities as long as possible.
The Office of Constituent Services initiates all kinds of programs and activities to help Atlanta seniors. City Council President Cesar Mitchell was a guest speaker at the Andrew Young Emerging Leaders Summer Institute. Mitchell was on the Ethics and Leadership panel. The young folks spent several days in Atlanta developing and honing their leadership skills.
We go to various black colleges, taking panelists, experts to the colleges, talking about leadership development.
It gives me a lot of confidence, especially when going into the workplace and becoming a part of the workforce of America, just knowing that now I have these tools.
The group focused on trends that are likely to occur over the next 20 years and the impact these trends may have on their livelihood. President Mitchell was joined by Fulton County officials.
Fulton County Commission Chair John Eves and Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard to chat with the young people about life and leadership and making good decisions. Maybe I'll learn a few things from them because I'm sure they know a few things that we need to learn even at our age.
This 4-day summer session was a partnership between the National Black College Alumni Hall of Fame Foundation and the Andrew J. Young Foundation. Fire Chief Kelvin Cochran is here to give us an update on Atlanta Fire Rescue.
Bring those arms up. Shoulder grass overhead, mango.
And folks in Southwest Atlanta are exercising on the Beltline. Stay with us.
ATL 26, forward together. Channel 26 brings the city of Atlanta home to you. Atlanta city leaders want to move the city forward together with you. The goal? To engage and empower citizens through service. From City Hall to the neighborhoods that make Atlanta unique, ATL 26 keeps you connected to your government and community. And we go global. As Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport takes you around the world, ATL 26, forward together.
Fire Chief Kelvin Cochran is with us today. Chief, thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Let's talk about Smart 911. That allows residents to create a safety profile so first responders can better assist citizens when they call 911. Tell us how Smart 911 improves emergency response.
Well, Smart 911 really helps to enhance public safety and emergency preparedness at the citizen level. When residents of the city of Atlanta actually register on sign up for Smart 911, they put in information that helps first responders, firefighters, and police officers better meet their needs when we actually arrive on the scene. So, for example, when citizens actually identify the number of occupants they have in their home, the age of those occupants, whether any of the occupants of the home has special needs or medical conditions, when they identify number of pets, types of pets, where the bedrooms are, how many are downstairs, how many are upstairs. That kind of information positions firefighters, particularly firefighters, to better serve in search and rescue situations or in emergency medical calls when there are pre-existing medical conditions or special needs.
Becoming a firefighter, Atlanta has a 10-month process for fire training. Walk us through the process if someone's interested in joining the fire department.
Well, first of all, the applications must be submitted during an open application period. We have those approximately twice a year. There are certain prerequisites for employment that a person has to be at least 18 years of age and be a registered voter. And then there's about an 8-step process that candidates actually have to go through, starting off with a physical ability test that all applicants take. From there, they take a written examination. And then there are other types of screening processes that a candidate actually goes through. Once they successfully complete those processes, they will begin a recruit academy that lasts for about 11 months.
Atlanta firefighters were at North Atlanta High School for National Fire and EMS Safety Stand Down Week. How did that go?
It went extremely well. Every year the fire service focuses 1 week on prevention of injuries and deaths in the line of duty. This year, and on that particular day, we had a full day seminar on preventing line of duty deaths. We actually had a firefighter from Charleston, South Carolina, presenting their case study on the loss of 9 firefighters in Charleston, South Carolina in 2007, June 18, 2007, as a matter of fact. And then earlier this year in January, we had a battalion chief from Toledo, Ohio Fire Department here presenting their case on the loss of 2 firefighters that died in the line of duty. We simply do not want that to happen here. The last line of duty death we had in the city of Atlanta was on Thanksgiving Day 2006, and we never want that to happen again.
Community involvement. Atlanta Fire Rescue has several programs for the citizens, like smoke detectors and the Citizens Emergency Response Team, fan giveaways and things of that nature. So Atlanta firefighters are heavily involved in the community.
Absolutely. There's a greater value for the Atlanta Fire Rescue Department to residences and businesses beyond just responding to them when they have an emergency. In fact, we try to address most of those life safety needs before an alarm sounds. And so we are very actively engaged in target communities like senior citizens, children, and even in special victims. One of the programs that we really take advantage of these opportunities to talk about is our Safe Places Off the Street program, Safe Spots, Fire stations in the city of Atlanta are safe places of refuge for victims of domestic violence, for child abuse, for sexually exploited youth, and they are a safe place to drop off children for mothers that for some reason or another in the life of some mothers, they decide they don't want their children anymore. So rather than have them drop them off in an abandoned house or a vacant car, or in some cases even a dumpster, we would prefer them bring them by a fire station. So we really like to emphasize our Safe Places Off the Street program for special victims in the city of Atlanta.
Now, you've been doing this more than 30 years, so after 3 decades, are you still enjoying your profession?
I absolutely love it. Being a firefighter was a childhood dream come true for me. And every day when I wake up to put on this uniform, for me it's like waking up on Christmas morning. And you know how that feels when you're a small kid and you wake up and you see the Christmas tree and toys are all around it. I get to feel that way every day coming to work. I work for a great city, a great community. The men and women of our fire department are just absolutely awesome people. I have a great boss and a very supportive city council, so what more can a guy ask?
Chief Cochran, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
The great sounds of jazz made it a nice day in the park. And the city gives away 1,000 fans to keep senior citizens cool during these hot summer months. Back in a moment.
ATL 26, forward together. Channel 26 brings the city of Atlanta home to you. Atlanta city leaders want to move the city forward together with you. The goal? To engage and empower citizens through service. From City Hall to the neighborhoods that make Atlanta unique, ATL 26 keeps you connected to your government and community. And we go global. As Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport takes you around the world, ATL 26, forward together.
Councilmember Cleta Winslow celebrated the return of cinema to the West End. Winslow co-sponsored a VIP reception to honor actress Keisha Knight Pulliam and producer Althea Brown at the grand opening of the West End Cinema Lounge. Pulliam is best known for her childhood role as Rudy Huxtable on The Cosby Show, and Brown is a producer, director, editor, and animator. Winslow also noted the significance of the return of cinema to the historic West End for the first time in more than 50 years.
It's an opportunity for people to come out and see some dated films, with some films that they may not have seen at the theater.
Winslow says this new concept of independent films at the West End Cinema Lounge will restore an important part of the area's history. Gestures That Soon Will Disappear is a physical installation by Glow Atlanta that heightens the importance of human interaction with objects by using dance, sculpture, and storytelling. Lori Stallings' group was in Howell Park to present this performance that tackles the perceptions of art and objects in vacant public spaces versus museums.
It's exciting, it's interesting, it's different, it's not so far out there that you can't enjoy it. They've done some great things at the skate park before, or the 54 columns thing, and Lori and her group, Lori Stallings, the director, and her group are really just a great asset to the city of Atlanta, doing these wonderful public performances around town.
Gestures That Soon Will Disappear is a collaboration with Paper Cut Project, an international sculpture duo.
There's not a sound.
Councilmember Joyce Shepard hosted an evening of jazz in the park where District 12 residents had a chance to enjoy the mellow sounds of smooth jazz out in Parkerson Park.
Today is just a day of celebrating with the community, the beauty of our green space, the beauty of community, just being out here listening to some great jazz and blues. And as you can see, the kids are playing, people are eating, just a great day to be in the park.
The Office of Cultural Affairs produces these annual neighborhood concerts to celebrate jazz in venues throughout the city. Councilwoman Keisha Bottoms partnered with Young at Heart Wellness and the Atlanta Beltline to offer free exercise classes. Personal trainer Leslie Magnum will teach the classes. He is also the Dr. Oz Fitness Challenge winner.
So we are kicking off an exercise series starting today, and it will go on indefinitely every Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. and it's going to be exercise on the Beltline. So not only will you get to come out and get a free exercise class, but you'll get to see this beautiful trail You can walk, you can run, you can bike.
It's just so important for our communities to come together in a healthy way, in a fun way, and enjoying each other and laughing and just having a ball with it. We really had a great time today, and we are looking for so much more in the future.
The 10 Again Fitness Series consists of low and high-paced movements designed to increase your heart rate. Classes are every Saturday on the Southwest Beltline Trail behind Beecher Hills Elementary School. Health experts say exercise programs can improve a person's well-being and can help prevent or treat heart disease and diabetes. The City of Atlanta has something for kids to do this summer. It's a program by Parks and Recreation that gets them in motion.
Summer is in full swing for Kids at Play in Atlanta. The 8-week summer program is part of the city's well-established Camp Best Friends.
Kids at Play is basically when we grab kids from the inner city and the community, basically just to put them in the park, getting them acclimated to playing outside, doing things outdoors, making sure that they're in the community doing everything that they need to do to succeed.
Run it out! Kids at Play is open to any child 5 to 12 years old, and it's free. Teenagers from the community work as camp counselors. They play a very important role.
We basically play with the kids, we come up with games, we watch the kids, and we make sure they're safe and participating.
Our kids are more than actual peer counselors. They actually, get to know the kids. They know them by name.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. is more than just playtime for these kids. It's all about learning, physical fitness, and arts and crafts.
We, as counselors, we all came together to do the painting. It was actually Mr. Hitt's idea. And so we all participated, and what we did was when the kids came, we let them put their hands on the board and put the paint on it with their fingerprints and handprints.
The young counselors seem to be getting just as much out of this program as the kids themselves. Their vision board is a clear example.
Some of the words are patient, cool, collectible, and hope, faith, God. Our major word is God. We put that in bold letters. And so it's just like words that'll help us with life.
Reflecting on encouraging words like that every day, it's hard to go wrong.
We've had great parent participation, great community participation. And those are some of the things that you have to do to build a strong community. So it's been great.
Kids at Play runs from June 4th until July 23rd on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can take your child to Collier Park, English Park, Reverend James Orange Park, Perkerson Park, or Zabin Recreation Center at Eastlake Park to let them play. It was perfect weather as people from all over the world ran the Peachtree Road Race. And we'll tell you about some new airport restaurants. That's next.
ATL 26, forward together. Channel 26 brings the City of Atlanta home to you. Atlanta city leaders want to move the city forward together with you. The goal? To engage and empower citizens through service. From City Hall to the neighborhoods that make Atlanta unique, ATL 26 keeps you connected to your government and community. And we go global. As Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport takes you around the world, ATL 26, forward together.
Summer is in full swing. Every day we count on temperatures here in Atlanta spiking 90 degrees and above. That means families are heading to pools and beaches, but that also means it's important to be safe around the water.
Most people don't know that drowning can happen in less than a minute.
Reuben Brown is with the American Red Cross of Metro Atlanta.
97% of people wouldn't recognize a drowning victim if they saw them. So it's very important that people think about water safety even while they're having fun around swimming pools, lakes, rivers, and so forth.
To that end, the Red Cross is taking the lead with the launch of a new swimming app packed with tips on the do's and don'ts of swim safety.
It's a great app, has videos, games, and quizzes for kids, really encourages them to be safe around the water. We use Longfellow the whale. He's a mascot. He's kid-friendly, speaks in kid language. And so we want kids to do things like be cool, follow the rule. Don't just pack it. Wear your life jacket.
The American Red Cross's swim app is completely free. Simply go to redcross.org/mobile apps and download it on your iPhone, Android, or Kindle Fire device. 60,000 runners and walkers. That's the number of people who participated in the 2014 Peachtree 10K road race. This year's 4th of July signature event saw cool morning temperatures and low humidity, two things distance runners love.
I moved here in '99 and I saw all these people on TV and I'm like, I want to do that.
It's probably one of the funnest races that you can do. There's such camaraderie, and you've got your serious runners out here, but it's for everyone.
Christo Landry of Ann Arbor, Michigan won the men's division, and Amy Hastings of Providence, Rhode Island was the winner in the women's division. Scanner Energy and the City of Atlanta teamed up again this summer to offer free fans to residents. The fans were distributed at the Butler Park Recreation Center. The center is the site for the Camp Best Friends Seniors Program. Atlanta Fire Rescue's Deputy Chief Joe Baker was there to talk about the dangers of excessive heat.
I want you to know that you are prone to suffer heat and related illness when your bodies are unable to compensate and properly cool itself. Overexposure to excessive heat can cause heat stroke, sunstroke, heat collapse, heat cramps, and heat exhaustion due to water depletion and salt depletion.
Customer service at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport continues to take off. Airport officials recently unveiled new shops, bars, and restaurants on Concourse D, 12 in total. The 4040 Club is rapper Jay-Z's entry into the food and beverage business. It offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Georgia Grown and the state's Department of Agriculture joined forces to offer local and seasonal specialties, and Harvest and Grounds satisfies the traveler's sweet tooth with European-inspired pastries, drinks, and snacks. Thank you for watching City Talk. I'm Thermise Bevel.